You might think populations are growing, so your ad audiences should be growing too, right? But the truth is, your best leads are quietly disappearing. And if you don't adapt, your ads will just get more expensive and less effective, right? Let's understand this in a field. Let's talk about the demographic shift. Fertility rate in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia are well below replacement level. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean is, if we look at the stats here, let's check each replacement rate, like US replacement. It's not like, yeah, okay, it's replacement rate, right? So if you look at it, we'll see that all of them are below this replacement rate, which is 2.1. What do I mean by that? If a couple has two kids, they're going to break even in numbers of population. But if they have 2.1, which is not possible, but that's the number in average, the population will grow. But for all these countries, this number is under 2.1. So let's check the fertility rate for the US, for example. As you can see here, for the US fertility rate, we got 1.66. And the same goes for Canada, which is 1.33, way below than the US. And check in the UK, the situation goes the same, 1.57. And for Australia, we are like 1.63. Okay, so for all these English speaker countries, they're all under the replacement level, right? So native born populations are aging, not expanding, and immigration brings raw numbers but not identical audience quality, and cultural, economic, and language gaps fragment audiences, making it harder to find ideal buyers. Let's check that here in my notes. As you can see here, as I said previously, this is the demographic shift. The fertility rates for these countries are shrinking, right? And are below the replacement levels. So what you can conclude from it is that growing populations are different from growing buyers, right? So growing populations don't mean growing buyers, especially not buyers ready to invest in coaching courses or personal growth. That's the real issue. That's the problem. Let's understand in a deeper level why it matters for ads and funnels, right? So good leads, aligned values, economic stability, English first speakers are shrinking, right? That's why CPMs are rising, one of the reasons, but it's an important one. Conversions are getting harder and audiences burn out faster. It's not just ad fatigue, it's audience fatigue from targeting the same shrinking pool over and over, right? There are less younger people than older. So you're not crazy. It feels like you have to work 2 times harder to get half of the results compared to a few years ago. Let's check before aligning with my notes. So we discussed this topic right now, why it matters for ads and funnels. So bad leads are getting more expensive and ads are less effective than a few years ago, okay? So it feels like you have to work 2 times harder to get half of the results compared to before. And what you must do differently, that's a real interesting point, okay? To adapt to this reality, you need to get instantly specific about your ideal buyer. Surface level targeting isn't enough anymore. Behavior targeting, psychographics, value driven message win, okay? So second, use a stronger lead qualification inside a funnel. Pre-frame buyers early. Values, commitment level, identify triggers, okay? Example, this is for serious action takers only, style messaging. Third, invest more in brand and community. I've been saying that lately, okay? So with fragmented audiences, trust and identify replace mass appeal, right? Build an audience that feels like a tribe, not just a cold list. And fourth, expect higher lead costs but higher quality returns. Stop chasing cheap CPMs. Chase better leads, even if cost per lead goes up. Long-term LTV, which is lifetime value, is the real goal here, okay? In a shrinking market, depth beats width, but build deeper trust with fewer better leads. And look at my notes. This is exactly what I'm saying about what you must do differently. Being specific about ideal buyers, invest more in brand and community, use a strong lead qualification inside a funnel. In a shrinking market, depth beats width. So here's the key shift. It's not just about volume anymore. In 2015, you could spray ads and pray. 2025, you win by precision, sharper messaging, tiger audiences, and stronger emotional pull. Big brands are still playing mass games. You can beat them by being sharper, faster, and more personal. If your market it's like 2015, you'll go broke. If your market it's 2030, we'll dominate. So here are the notes from this last part. It's not about volume anymore. It's about precision. Sharpen your messaging to connect deeply with the right people. Stop chasing cheap CPMs. Chase aligned leads instead. Small, committed audiences outperform big, broad ones. Alright, this will change the future, change everything. It will change the real estate market. Let me know here in the comments if you notice this shift, if you already noticed this difference. But in a very early future, we'll start to notice that more prominently. If this opened your eyes, hit the like, subscribe, and drop sharp targeting in the comments, okay? In the next video, I'll show how to build a lead acquisition strategy designed for a shrinking, fragmented audience and not just Survivor 2025, but scale through it, okay? And I cast a spell to you, bound. Spell says, those who do not subscribe to this channel will never reach a return ad spend over 2. You've got no option, my friend.
Subscribe, don't wait, hit that button for real. Transform your hustle, make the most of the deal. Clicks and leads from the screen to the sky. Media buyer for coaches, take your biz on a high. Course creators gather, ain't no time to lag. Ads sharpened up like a knife in a drag. Content so slick, make your wallet go swoon. Meta algorithms got you rich by noon.